What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video. And today, y'all know what time it is. It's time for another mock draft. Now, again, you guys are new. Welcome to the community. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, all that YouTube stuff. Glad to have you guys here. Have content coming out every single day. Let's kick into this. No need for a long intro. Of course, you guys can look at the links in the description for everything else you guys need. If you guys want to talk to me, we've got a great Discord, over 100 people in there. So feel free to join that community and feel free to reach out to me on there, Twitter, all that good stuff. You guys know where it's at. Let's kick off the draft. Number one overall pick, we got the Leones on the board. And I think the problem with the top of this draft is that it's pretty damn symmetrical. Like every single time, we already know we're going to go with the first couple picks. KT is just an obvious selection here. It's just a no-brainer at this point, and that's just the way we're going to roll with it. You know, offensive tackle is the only other thing besides quarterback and edge that is worth probably a number one overall pick. And, well, we don't need an offensive tackle. Got that last draft. And then quarterback's not worth it. So pretty obvious pick right there. KT, number two with the Texans. I mean, you can go Kyle Hamilton here just because he is that type of game record, but safety depth is pretty damn good in this class as it is. I just don't think that Kyle Hamilton is the dude you take here. Again, I usually like those top three positions. Those are the ones with the greatest impact, biggest win above replacement. That's where I always roll. And this guy's still on a tear. He lost 20 pounds, yet converted his speed to even more power. And he's become an absolute freak. I think he is of the Bosa tier of talents. Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. You know, I was against this guy for a while, and then he totally recomped his body and worked on his form. Similar to Kwity Paye, I love a dude who's able to work on himself in the offseason because it shows that he himself is the reason why he is changing for the better. That's a great sign when you're going into the pros. I just think that he's the next JJ Watt style player for, not actually JJ Watt, he's 280, but that next big edge threat for the Houston Texans. Again, you are in a division where, you know, the Colts have a really damn good offensive line. You know, you have the Tennessee Titans where they're getting new pieces on there. Taylor Lewan's having a weird ass year, but you need somebody who's willing to at least give some formidable presence on that edge. So big fan of that pick right there. And this pick right here, I think we also know where this is going. You know, you could go Derek Stingley right here, 100%. I just don't think that it's worth it. I really don't. You know, Derek Stingley is a really high-end corner with a lot of upside. I just don't think that it's worth that much. I really don't. Like, I am totally against taking corner at the top of the draft just because you see that miss rate. Like, there's so many misses that go on with these corners at the top of the draft because that position is extremely volatile. You know, safety at the top, granted, you could say similar thing. You know, we haven't seen type of dominance from these top end safeties, but recently, I mean, even with Jamal Adams not doing as well as we want him to, he's still a high end safety for the role that he's best built for, which is a blitzer. He's a very high end blitzer. You use him in the right role, and this guy is an absolute freak. Obviously, Derwin James, when healthy, is an absolute monster as well. These safeties at the top have been producing. It's just not very often that you find them. That's where I'm leaning right now. And it's usually it's a way I've been rolling a while. I've been going off on just describing this, even though you guys know it's going to happen. I just got to tell you guys that Kyle Hamilton's the right way. You know, Evan Neal, some people would say, hey, dude, might as well get some extra offensive line help. I totally get that. But with Lane Johnson there, I don't think Lane's retiring anytime soon. And we just paid Jordan Mailata a big deal. That doesn't seem very logical nor fair to Evan Neal if you want to use him as a guard. That's not something he's going to be very pleased about coming in. Kyle Hamilton is that dude. Of course, then this is a tough one because, you know, for me, I think Evan Neal might be worth this pick, and I might just totally screw over the Jaguars. We're going to do it. I dropped my Jets mock today, technically yesterday. It's past 12. So yeah, I love recording for you guys. I do it even when I don't have time. I have Evan Neal going, not over over Derek Stingley, but you know, the Jets have a second first round pick, which is pretty close where you can get a top end corner. So I'm going to get Evan Neal out of Alabama here. to fit that right tackle mold. He played it last year and he progressed so much exponentially. I literally texted Broshma when I first saw him, like, dude, this guy's worse than Alex Leatherwood. And I was watching his first game. I think it was against Ole Miss. And then I saw him in the national championship against the Ohio State University, which had a 25% pressure rate. And this guy looked locked down. I think he looked better than he does at left. And that's a pretty ballsy statement, but I think this dude is possibly even better at right. And now you have a freak-ish offensive line. So big fan of Evan Neal right there. Number 5, you got the Jaguars, and we missed out on a good piece, an excellent piece to the puzzle. So this is going to be new this is going to be new territory. If you guys are new, I do this all live. This has nothing to do with something I pre-planned. So that's why it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to talk myself into a pick or not. I think the secondary getting an actual corner wouldn't be a terrible idea. I think edge is something we could look at next round. Offensive line is not worth this pick. I'm not going to go Charles Cross right after Evan Neal. Like that's stupid. I think that you go with the highest end player, and that's Derek Stingley Jr. So out of LSU, you need to be able to replace the void, which you just created with CJ Henderson. So that's a big oof. And it's something that really pissed me off personally. I didn't understand it, but this is where you can take a shot on another Jalen Ramsey-esque talent. So cheers to the Jaguars. They're getting a generational level talent regardless. And hopefully Derek Stingley turns out and he's able to pan out, but that's just so hard to say. It's really hard to say that he's going to. So number 6 with the Washington football team, this is going to be where we see the first quarterback come off the board. And Malik is the highest end quarterback in the class. He has the most potential, the most upside. He's an absolute phenom on the field. He is a Houdini. I think he's very comparable to the way Deshaun Watson plays. That being said, we saw how he did against Ole Miss. He has a lot to work on. He's a redshirt senior, so it's not like he's extremely moldable. It's just he's at Liberty. So he has a lot of room to grow, even though he's already developed a lot in terms of his experience in college. Matt is, granted, he's not, it says he's a redshirt junior. I'm pretty sure he actually might be a year older than that. But regardless, he's an absolutely amazing commander of the locker room, has a great arm. I know that people are saying I'd still take my shot at Willis, but I think that you're looking for a ready now quarterback. And I think Washington would honestly support that more than anything. Like, I think realistically in the draft process, Matt's going to go first because SEC competition embarrassed Malik Willis on the stat sheet when he faced him last week. So I think that Matt Corral is the safe option here. Go with him, lock him up. With the Eagles, oof. Yeah, this is a team I would definitely consider taking Malik Willis. Not at this spot. Again, you need to get positions of actual value. But if we're sitting at 14, I 100% agree that it's a good spot to go. So that being said, I still think corner is a huge issue. And I think this guy is as good as Derek Stingley. He doesn't have those injury history issues. And I mean, he's been injured a little bit this year. But look at him, 6'2", 193. I thought it was 200, but I think I was talking about Caleb Evans here. Yeah, 6'2", 200. But Kyer Elam is a freak. He is so good at mirroring these wide receivers. My only knock on him was I was a little worried about his actual deep speed. And this is a team where now you have Kyle Hamilton, who is known for his ranginess as a safety. That's going to help out a lot. We're probably going to lose Steven Nelson. It's not too bueno. And he is heads above all others as a number 2 corner. And he threatens to be number 1. Just Derek Stingley's, what he's shown in that freshman year is unbelievable. And the athleticism is ungodly. Kyer Elam is honestly a better fit. Just because it's not a big name, I think it's a better fit. Giants sitting here, yeah, I think we know where this is going. To Marvin Leal. You gotta solidify something on that defensive front, and then we're gonna get some help on the offensive side. Don't worry. You just gotta take best player available. This guy is a freak. You can play that BJ Hill role. You can play on the edge. You play him wherever the hell you want, and this guy's gonna be an absolute freak. I think the reason he falls is because of the fact that teams are gonna be like, is he a really light interior? Is he a big edge? We don't know. So I think that he's a really good fit there. To the Eagles, he could have been a good spot, but I'm seeing a couple teams that are going to be hungry for a corner. So I think this was the right move. With the Dolphins here, I honestly think that this is a good spot to trade back. It's like there will be teams wanting to move up for a quarterback. And actually, we're gonna put a positive spin on this. Unfortunately, the Steelers are gonna be too far away to trade up into the number 9 spot for a quarterback. There will be a team that is closer, and that's the Carolina Panthers. Of course, we're gonna see how this works out because I have no idea what the trade the need for the trade is. But obviously, we're gonna be offering a next year one. That could work. We're gonna actually see what we can get in return. That would be ridiculous. Hold on, that is y'all need to, that is ridiculous. We're gonna ask for a third in return, like a 1 and a 1 for a 1 and a 3. Also gives us a chance to draft for him again. In the meantime, we already have 2 firsts, and maybe we can toss in. I want to just see. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Wow, look at that. That's a ridiculous. So obviously this is unfair. We're moving back 4 spots, but I mean, I'll send in a second 3 next year. So that's equivalent of a 1-3-4 or a 1-2 for a 1-1. That makes sense, but we're going to send that through just for fairness's sake. And the Dolphins accepted the offer, and we are going to be taking a quarterback here, Malik Willis out of Liberty. I think this is a team where they're willing to take a shot on that talent, and it's just, you need to, by this point, just say, screw it, we need to go a quarterback. So Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty, it's a fun pick. It just totally changes the realm of this draft, and it makes it to where it's not just me regurgitating the same picks over and over again. This is a team that is a quarterback away from being a legit talent in their division. You could see a guy like Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell go at their spot. They won't lose a first round pick next year, but we also gained a third. So we're adding picks this year in a draft that honestly could be leading them to be able to surge into those higher ranks, especially with how New Orleans might not even have Jameis Winston. Just we'll see how that goes. But number 10 with the Jets, we got offensive line. This is a good spot to get corner. We could even trade back here as well. I don't think that's realistic. So we could go KARLAFTIS just to get a really, really nice addition to this team. But I think going Sauce Gardner here is an excellent spot. I think he's just slightly less athletic Kyrie Elam, and that was last year. And he's even more physically dominant now. He could be on that Darrelle Revis level. This guy is in my top 10. I have both Kyrie Elam and Sauce Gardner right next to each other because they are that damn good. Yeah, top 10 guys for me all around. Number 11 with the Giants back on the board. This is offensive line all the way. I know y'all have been saying Tyler Linderbaum, and I totally respect that. I will just say you need to solidify a tackle position before a center, and Billy Price doesn't really support that. Like I'll admit, like it wasn't pretty, but I feel pretty damn solid that Darian Kennard being a right tackle, because I don't really see that many offensive tackles being there in the next round, would be the right choice. And he's super raw. He's one of the few right tackles in this class. It's him, and Petit Frere is playing left right now anyways, but he was a true right. And Daniel Faalele, he's another guy who's a true right. But besides that, you're not going to get much value, especially in our time frame or in our draft frame, to get anybody better. So Darian Kennard out of Kentucky, he's taking a big step up this year. I'm a big fan of this pick. I've been doing it for a while. These two guys have been lockstep for this team. So I definitely can see Tyler Linderbaum as well as Darian Kennard being these picks. I just don't think that's very realistic to go 2 offensive line in the first, especially when you got talents like DeMarvin Leal on the board. I think you just go offensive tackle. The hype is going to be real. He's going to test freakishly for his size, and that's going to be getting him drafted right there. Number 12 with the Vikings, I could see a corner right here, and that's probably where I'm going to go. I don't see any other safety being worth this top end pick, and I think that I can just leave it right there. It is down to these 2 dudes, but I mean, I'm looking at teams that will need a corner, and I'm seeing the Falcons as my only competition. And I have 2 corners here, one of which I don't really care about, because either way, I'm going to be pretty happy. This could be a team trying to move up for a player. We can see who else is on the board. You still have KARLAFTIS on the board, a really good edge. I mean, hell, he could go to this team, right? Like he could definitely go to a team like this. But Looking at other teams that might want him, hell, the Chiefs could want him. We could even see the Falcons want him, but I don't think that's going to be the right move. Jermaine Johnson is an interesting addition or interesting pick for the Falcons in the next round, but we'll get that tomorrow. Okay, so this spot, honestly, we're going to take the corner anyways. I think that Andrew Booth's athleticism might get him drafted above a guy like Trent McDuffie, but we are going to say that Trent McDuffie has enough talent to get him drafted. Washington corners have been doing a very good job and being very consistent. I think Trent McDuffie is going to get a little bit more hype than Andrew Booth solely because of the tape. Speaking for Trent McDuffie, a little bit better, a little more favorable than Andrew Booth. Number 13 with the good old Dolphins. Honestly, I could really see them drafting a linebacker at this spot, but we're actually going to go wide receiver and Drake London going this high. Yeah, it sounds a little crazy, but we're going to steal him right from the Eagles' grasp because that was probably going to be my next pick. I think that getting a big wide receiver for the Eagles is a really good idea. And the Eagles are sitting here and they're like saying, what the fuck, man? Like, that was our pick. Yeah, I got something that's a little bit more surprising. I'm going to see if there's a team that actually would take him because I might want to trade back because I know you guys like to get that extra draft capital. I'm just going to give you a heads up. It's a position I haven't drafted for you guys in the first round before. I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. I'm trying to see which team would look at a linebacker. So this team, not going to be drafting one. No. Like by this point, I don't really see many teams besides teams trading up for a linebacker. So I could see a team trying to move up right now. Guys on the board that would be worth moving up for is KARLAFTIS, another guy who I'd potentially take with this team. So honestly, I could see them trading back with the Chiefs right here. I don't think that'd be a terrible idea. And that gives them something to actually, I like it personally. The Chiefs are going to be a little bit aggressive in this draft and the Eagles are going to reap the benefits. So let's see how this goes going for, what we can probably ask for a 4th round pick. We'll see if we can fleece a next year 3 from them and then get like a 6. Well, we have a 6th round pick, get a 7th as well as maybe a next year 6th. Whoop-de-doo. Just throwing little picks here and there to get this through. And they are going to select George KARLAFTIS. Spag likes bigger ass dudes. And this is a guy who gets triple teamed in the Big Ten. He has top 5 talent. He's not a top 5 prospect. Injuries are a big factor in that, but he is a top 5 talent getting triple teamed in the Big Ten. That kind of tells you how damn good he is. I'm a big fan of George KARLAFTIS here. And I think it's the right move. Get a little bit aggressive. Kansas City, you need to fix that defense. And now you're actually getting some even better pass rush. You're looking at Melvin Ingram right there. This guy is going to be 10 leagues better than that. And I'm a fan of Melvin Ingram. So big fan of that. Number 15 for the Broncos. I think that I might go my good old Sam Howell pick here. I think that he'd be a very good addition on this team, reuniting with his buddy Javonte. That being said, we could look at offensive line. Again, I could only see Nicholas Petit-Frere going at this point, and if you're going to say that is going to stop him, that we're going to go Nicholas Petit-Frere over a quarterback, I would say you're a little bit crazy. So I'm going to go with the rocket arm kid out of North Carolina, Sam Howell. Been doing it for a while, and I'm still going to continue doing it. I'm pretty damn confident that's where I feel he will go. It's the right spot. He has elements of Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, which is perfect, but he's better in like all aspects. I think that he just needs a team with some weapons, and this is the perfect one. And like, I feel like he's going to be very Baker Mayfield-esque, and this is the perfect team to be Baker Mayfield-esque on. So Sam Howell out of North Carolina going to the Broncos. Number 16 with the Bengals. This is going to be another trade back spot. I really feel like the Bengals are going to trade back here and get some really good capital. Ooh. I know we don't need interior defensive line, but wouldn't it be we do kind of need some interior defensive line. But wouldn't it be nice to get Jordan Davis and just steal him from the Browns? Like, we need right tackles pretty damn badly to the point where it's like, can we trade back with a team that will take Jordan Davis? We could. Oh, like I really want to just totally screw over the Browns here. Because I think right tackle is the biggest need for this team. You need to go offensive line, but it's almost too tempting to not do that. But then again, the Steelers will probably draft a guy like Nicholas Petit-Frere, right? Like they're not going to draft quarterback 4 at the 21st overall pick. Wow, that is, dude. Wow, this is I mean, it's either like, well, you trade back with a team right in here, and you get we could definitely see. Oh, hold up. The Falcons can make a micro trade up. I think this is going to be brilliant. Yeah, the Falcons are going to make a micro trade up here. That's going to be perfect because the Falcons get someone that they want. There are teams that could be looking for another corner, trying to move up, Patriots being one of them. So we're going to have the Falcons NFC team move up with the Bengals. And oh, nice. We got some good picks here. See if maybe one of our 3rd round picks does. What's the need to be so stingy? Look at this. That's ridiculous. I'm going to personally override this trade, and we're going to switch it actually back the other way. So we're going to have the Bengals trade with the Falcons and then see how much the Falcons would go for. So watch this. We're going to see, like, look at that. If we did that 3rd, they wouldn't accept it just for that 1st. So that's, to me, is just showing right there. That's where it's like very likely. I want to see where it starts moving the needle though. So we could see that makes no sense. Oh, it's because it's for the same pick. Dumbass alert. So we're going to actually do that 3rd round pick, but we're going to offer that 4th as well, just to see which one, where it starts getting like a little bit iffy on the trade value. So right there, that's where it's going to be. I think that's the sweet spot. 1 and a 6. So we're going to actually offer a 1 and a 4 though. We're going to swap it back. That's fair. I think that's fair. You know, it's a very small trade up in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's going to be fine. You know, the Falcons accept the offer. The Falcons are getting Andrew Booth. You guys know it. You guys need a left cornerback, and Andrew Booth is perfect for that. He's a guy with unbelievable athleticism, and you guys like Clemson corners. So that is the route I'm going to take. I know you guys like it, and we're going to continue with that. Of course, that gives Jordan Davis to the Browns and just continue getting freakier on that team. Now the Eagles. Yes, we're going linebacker. We're going to Kobe Dean out of Georgia. Now, we could go after more of a true inside linebacker here, but I think Kobe Dean has insane blitz ability, which is something that Gannon hasn't done enough of, and it's time for him to start doing it, as well as some excellent coverage ability in a division with some pretty weak tight ends actually right now. He could be able to totally shut down a portion of the offenses, and like I think that's good. Perfect. You guys let me know what you think about the Kobe Dean pick. He is a little bit on the lighter side, but man, he is fun to watch. You know, being able to line him up and blitz him is going to be ridiculous. Again, really good in coverage too. So taking care of running backs out of the backfield like Tony Pollard, another specialty. At this spot, we're going to be going Nicholas Petit-Frere out of the Ohio State University. Kind of screwing over the Steelers of all the picks I would take. Hurts me a little bit, but that's the way we're going to roll. With the Patriots on the board, you guys already know where I'm going with this one too. Garrett Wilson out of the Ohio State University. Perfect short range weapon for him. Of course, the Steelers are sitting here, and I can't see him going to quarterback or offensive tackle here, to be honest with you. Now, I could see them go Ikem or Kenyon Green. That's something I could see. These guys who are guard tackle hybrids, like I can 100% see them do that. Tyler Linderbaum's on the. How the fuck did Tyler Linderbaum fall this far? Yeah, hold up. Because I know we don't need, we can definitely get right guard. Like tackle as well as quarterback are our biggest needs, but we definitely have the exact mold for a guy like Tyler Linderbaum. That is ridiculous. I totally forgot that he was on the board, to be completely frank. Granted, I would probably swap both of these picks if I could, but tackle value is a little bit better. I think the Steelers are going to be going Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa here to go as a right guard. You know, we don't have Trey Turner for too long, and this is a guy who's going to be a franchise interior offensive lineman. Now you have arguably one of the better interior offensive lines in the NFL, and you're going to help develop that run game a lot more. Yeah, I mean, he's in my top 5, and he fell this far. Just totally forgot he was on the board, and just doesn't pop up in your head, and a lot of teams could be like that. Where he could have went, you could have seen him right here to the Eagles, 100%, to the Bengals as well. I couldn't really see him go anywhere else, though. like maybe right here, but that would be a tough sell. So Tyler Linderbaum falling to the Steelers, it's not insane. Like it's not like the craziest shit you've ever seen, but still quite crazy. With the next pick, I think a team might want to move up for a guy like Ikem Ekwonu, who I think is a franchise left tackle. And I'm seeing teams that could use a left tackle. You guys should take a look at the Saints for trying to move up for an offensive lineman. You know, I know Ramczyk got extended, but I don't know if Teron Armstead got extended yet. You guys can, of course, let me know about that. Left tackle wise, I mean, teams like I'm looking at the Ravens right here as a team to make a heavy push up to get a guy like Ikem because he is legit an absolute freak. That's exactly what we're going to do. The Bills are going to charge a heavy penny for this one, but I don't think it's going to be that difficult. So they're going to require a third round as well as a fourth, and we're going to have to send back a fifth. You know, it says it's already very likely, but politics play into this, and the Bills are going to be moving back because corners aren't very good right now. And Ikem Ekwonu, true left tackle out of North Carolina State. These two guys are arguably, well, both of them are top 15 in the draft, but this is top 5 for me, and they're going right here. So you guys know I'm not biased against these dudes. They're absolute freaks. Number 23 with the Saints. You guys know where I'm going with this one too. Chris Olave. You guys need to get receiving weapons desperately. So get Chris Olave on that squad and light it up. 24 with the Cowboys. Whew. I'm looking at Kenyon Green pretty hard right now. I know safety would be definitely a good idea here. There's some really good ones too. But I think that going offensive line with how little there is probably a great idea. You know, Connor Williams going to be gone. He fits that exact position. And then he has the ability to move to left tackle. He played really well against Alabama at that position. So Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M going to the Cowboys, staying in Texas. Number 25 with the Raiders. Here's my big move. Jameson Williams out of Alabama replacing Henry Ruggs. I think that pick is almost locked in. He's an absolute burner. I think he might be better than Henry Ruggs. Talent-wise, he's an absolute monster. I really like Jameson Williams. He has everything you're looking for. He's developing still as well. And he was just sitting behind some very high-end receivers right here in Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. He finally is able to break out and show that he's a true number 1 receiver in the NFL. 26 with the Chargers. Now, we do not have the luxury of being able to get somebody who I feel comfortable with as a guard tackle hybrid. That being said, we could get somebody who could be that. I'm not going to. I think edge is like, there's just so many great edges in the class. Adam Anderson's having a little bit of a legal battle right now, and I'm going to be sticking away from taking them until the second round at least. I think Kingsley and ENAGBARE could be a very interesting target to be your Melvin Ingram role, and I think I'm going to take him. You could see Drake Jackson go at this spot. Again, he's going to be one of those weird players in this draft that we don't know where he's going to go, high, like extremely high, middle, or at the end of the first, mid-second. I'm going to go Kingsley and ENAGBARE here. He's just been a really, really consistent freak over this past season as well as last for South Carolina, and continue to develop that defense because the offense is rolling pretty well, especially if you don't get guard tackle hybrids that can play a role for a short period and then develop long-term as a tackle. 27. You know, I still have a top-end offensive tackle on the board, guys, and Charles Cross. Like, I have him in that top 20 range. So I do not hate him at all. It's just this is the way the board's fallen. I want to look at corner, and, you know, Darian Kendrick's on the board. It's just, this is tough to want to be able to select a corner at the spot. I think the Bucs can trade back. There's just not good high-end value at the spot besides the left tackle, which they could get one. It's just, you're not going to be getting a day one impact. So I'm going to move back with the team that probably wants an offensive tackle like Charles Cross. I'm trying to find one right now that could definitely use a true left, because a left tackle is a big ass deal. I'm looking at the Jaguars here, dude. The Jaguars have only gotten 1 pick so far, and that's Derek Stingley. So the Jaguars are actually going to make a pretty big move up right now. You know, Urban Meyer's going to be a little bit aggressive, but I think it's a great ass idea to be able to be a little bit aggressive to get a franchise left tackle. We have an extra 3rd round pick as well. but I don't. We actually that's a big jump up right there. But yeah, we're gonna send in our 2 as well as 3, so we're gonna move up 11 spots, lose a 3rd round pick. I don't think, honestly, we don't want to lose that 3rd round pick, so we're gonna toss in the 4 as well as the 5 or the 6. See what happens. We have an extra 7 as well. So 2, 4, 6, 7 for a 2. I think that is perfectly fine. And we are moving up. We could go edge here, but I think going a true left tackle is the most brilliant thing that we could do. And it's going to be Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. He is put on an extra 20 pounds, gained an anchor, and he already had all the basis for a high-end tackle. My big negative on him was the guy has a terrible anchor, and he put on weight, and he's developed it a lot better this year. He's finally getting comfortable, and now he looks like a much higher-end prospect, someone who you could stick at left tackle. Charles Cross to the Jaguars. I know you guys need some edge help, and we'll get that for you. This class is insane anyways, so we'll get there. Number 28, this is going to be a good ass pick. Treylon Burks to the good old Lions here. I think it's the right move. Just a guy who has crazy athleticism for his size, really good after the catch as well. You know that he's going to play some formal role in this offense, and he could play a, no pun intended, big one. So number 29 with the Tennessee Titans. I think that linebacker could be a really good choice here. And I think you get a day 1 impact in Devin Lloyd. You need something to go right on this defense to replace Rashawn Evans. And Devin Lloyd's going to be able to help you continue that high-end defensive level or defensive talent wise. And I think that's going to be great. I think it's going to be what you need to do for a team like the Tennessee Titans who want to be in a Super Bowl. You need to have a day 1 impact, and Devin Lloyd's your guy. 30 with the Packers. I would definitely look at another offensive tackle here, but we're going to check out the edge group as well as wide receiver. And honestly, I think we want to look for a true number 1. We're going to see George Pickens. Yes, me taking George Pickens in the 1st. George Pickens, a true number 1 receiver, had ACL injury this year. That is a big factor, but we all know that recency bias is everything. And when he destroys the combine, when he shows at pro days that he's an excellent route runner, that's going to catch people's eyes or catch their attention when he is 6'3" and extremely young. Look at that. He's going to be 21, barely 21 at the draft. So George Pickens, wide receiver out of Georgia, he's going to be a guy that's going to be a perfect person to continue molding into your perfect wide receiver. Number 31 with the Bills trading back, doing a great job because honestly, I probably would have done the same thing at that spot. Darian Kendrick out of Georgia. I don't know why people are crapping on Darian Kendrick. This guy is an absolute beast. I really like him. Regardless, we're going to go on to the next pick at 32. And this one, I mean, if you guys are saying Kingsley ENAGBARE is a good fit, I really don't know the pushback on Myjai Sanders besides he's 10 pounds lighter. I don't see it. I don't see much of a problem here. I like him. And you could go Drake Jackson as somebody who's on the outside. Same thing with Nick Bonito. But I don't know if you guys want to go back to the Hassan Reddick role. And there are dudes you could even talk about. I believe Nolan Smith's around 235 that you can use later on in the next round even. If you guys want to get that role, I'm going to go with the best talent on the board. And to me, that's not Myjai. I would rather take a guy like Zach Harrison. But the NFL will hype up Myjai, and that's why he goes at the end of the 1st. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.